Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, man, check this out. All right, man, I told you I was going to continue to do my assessment of Power Book 2 Ghost now that season 1 is over. Um, you just hearing various reports when it's going to return because you hear Rising Canaan is going to premiere sometime in the summer. And then you're hearing that Ghost Book 2 season 2 is coming in September, and then it'll be followed going into Power Book 4 Force, the highly anticipated Tommy Egan spinoff, which many people believe that's going to be the highest rated one out of all of the series. But nevertheless, let me continue to break down these characters. I'm not going to do uh solo video for solo video, but I'm a compare notes and put certain people together. So for one, let's talk about these two individuals. All right, so let's talk about Cooper Saxe and Davis McLean. Both are shady lawyers. Now, basically, due to the conclusion that Tasha is set free and Method Man is a stat padding lawyer. Basically, he cares about wins and losses. He figured the more wins he has, the more clients he can attract. He is a dude that care about money, and to a certain degree, he doesn't have any ethics. As well as Cooper Saxe. Saxe has proven he is willing to bend the law to try to uphold the law, which to a certain degree, well, not to a certain degree, it makes him shady and crooked, like a cop. You're not supposed to break the law to uphold the law, but we already know that, well, that's the history of the police. Now, keep in mind, Cooper Saxe just finally crossed the line. He got outsmarted by Tyreek. He lucky he didn't go to jail and get disbarred. And the same thing with Method Man's character because they figured out they was working together. But it was one of them things where Method Man could just slide because basically Cooper Saxe did all the damage. It was proven that he drugged Tyreek, and then he followed him. And then I'm gonna tell you right now that confession would have been admissible because he could have said, "Oh, you know, he was just talking. He don't really believe he did it." And then, due to the fact he remembered that he had a gun, going to, truth. But then he outsmarted him, and basically, that was just the last straw. That was pretty much his ass. But Method Man makes him an offer and say, "Hey, come work for me." And then he writes down the type of numbers. He basically saying, "Hey, you don't have no ethics. I don't have no ethics. So we should just work together." Because when you think about it, Davis McLean and Cooper Saxe are just alike. But Cooper Saxe, you give him credit because he always seems to, even though he comes across as having an epic fuck up, he always seems to find his way back. And I think Method Man has finally made him accept who he is, which I think Cooper Saxe, now that he knows that the real money is on the other side, being a defense lawyer, and he willing to do whatever it takes to win, he gained Davis McLean's respect. So he was like, why work against each other when we could work together? Now, going into season 2, I'll say this one. I don't know how relevant and how much screen time they're going to get, but more than likely they will find ways to still keep them afloat in the series. But when you think of them, joining forces, you think to yourself, okay, this sort of like sets the tone for another Power spinoff, which would probably feature Cooper Saxe, the lawyer named Tamika, and Davis McLean. That's what I was saying when they was hitting that there could be possibly a six power spinoff. You know, so that's what I was basically, hinting. And don't be surprised if that's what they're setting it up for. You know. Now, on the flip side, eventually, more than likely, Tyreek is going to seek revenge versus, or should I say, on Davis McLean and both Cooper Saxe. And we know Tyreek got it in him because, one, he knows that Davis McLean was working with Cooper Saxe to basically set him up. So don't be surprised if Tyreek pays both of them a visit somewhere down the line. Now that could happen, but if you know Tyreek, if you see, as you know his character, he probably eventually won't deal with them right away, but he'll deal with them eventually, or at least try to deal with them. Or at the end of the day, he may need them somewhere down the line. So, we'll see what's up. But that's pretty much the analysis of them, at the end of the day, like I told you, in Power, really, there's no good guys or no, or bad guys. It's really no good guys and worse guys. None of the characters on there is what you called any good. So I'm just keeping it 100. That's my assessment. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.